Arisu has everything money can buy, yet his life is hollow and lonely, and his only comfort is a mysterious late-night school radio show hosted by a girl called Apollo until one night she vanishes without a trace. Unable to let go, Arisu sets out to find her. The story begins at Furin High School, which has recently changed from an all-boys school into a co-ed institution. The homeroom teacher nervously announces the change, admitting that the transition may be awkward at first, but expressing hope that everyone will learn to get along. Suddenly, Arisu stands up. He bluntly points out the awkward pauses the teacher is taking and demands that the announcement be redone properly, shocking all. Regaining his composure, the teacher deflects the moment and tells Arisu to introduce himself first. Seizing the opportunity without hesitation, Arisu proudly announces himself as the heir to the powerful Yamabuki group, declaring that he is a man destined to carry Japan into the future, boasting with exaggerated confidence that he is already 99% perfect and that, in order to reach absolute perfection, he needs all the girls in the class to tell him they love him. Later, several boys corner Arisu and accuse him of driving away all the girls with his outrageous behavior, but he remains completely unfazed and calmly responds that adversity is what builds character. At that moment, a girl approaches him and frankly admits that she knows the Yamabuki group is extremely wealthy, and that, because of that, she wants to become his girlfriend, prompting Arisu to stand, ask her to whisper something into his ear, and then casually dismiss her after listening, excusing himself under the pretense of going to the restroom. Arisu wanders from classroom to classroom, hoping to finally encounter the girl he seeks. But after failing yet again, he recalls his bleak past when his only reason to keep living is a late-night radio show hosted by a girl who calls herself Apollo. Every night he listens to her voice, imagining an ideal love story unfolding between them, until suddenly a girl sneaks up behind him in the present and whispers, "I love you," into his ear, causing his body to react instinctively. Shocked, Arisu demands to know who she is, but the girl only teasingly reminds him that break time is almost over, and that he never actually went to the restroom, leaving him standing there in confusion. Later, in the cafeteria, Arisu finds himself unable to stop thinking about the girl, whose voice sounds eerily similar to Apollo's, though he convinces himself that he cannot be certain because she caught him at an unfortunate moment. Just then, a girl's voice echoes through the school intercom, and the instant Arisu hears it, he bolts toward the broadcasting room. As he runs, memories of Apollo flood his mind, and he wonders if she might be closer than he ever imagined, recalling how he is once her only listener, how they speak regularly through her show, Midnight Heart Tune, and how close they become, despite never meeting. She often talks about her desire to attend an all-girls school, and after her sudden disappearance from the internet, Arisu gathers every detail from their conversations, realizes she is the same age as him, and deduces that she wants to attend an all-girls school near the ocean, which leads him to discover that only Furin fits those conditions and ultimately enroll there in hopes of getting closer to her. Standing before the broadcasting room door in the present, Arisu takes a deep breath, fully convinced that Apollo is waiting for him on the other side, and that meeting her will finally make him feel whole again. Instead, when he opens the door, he is greeted by 4 girls, forcing him to quickly compose himself, as he explains that he wants to ask them something, only to be immediately scolded for barging in without warning. He apologizes at once, but his gaze lingers on the girls as he notices that each of their voices bears a resemblance to Apollo's, leaving him stunned. One of them, Rika, casually asks if he is also aiming to go professional, which only confuses Arisu further, until Nini snaps at him for being clueless. Finally, Iko explains that they are members of the broadcasting club, all of whom aspire to build careers using their voices. While Shinobu reveals her ambition to become a news announcer, Iko declares her goal of becoming a VTuber. Nani announces her dream of becoming a voice actress, and Rika states that she wants to be a singer, leaving Arisu standing there as he takes in the unexpected complication before him. Jokingly, Shinobu mentions that she has already heard rumors about the strange classroom speech of Arisu in which he demands a lover, and before he can properly explain himself, Nani suddenly lashes out physically, calling him a complete creep and a degenerate while openly accusing him of having disgusting intentions. Deeply offended, Arisu sharply clarifies that he is not acting out of lust or obsession, and that he is simply searching for someone important to him. But his words are immediately misunderstood when Iko pulls up her VTuber character on a screen and assumes he must have come to see her specifically. But when Arisu firmly denies this, Rika steps forward and assumes instead that he is there for her, which only increases his irritation as he finally raises his voice and states clearly that he has no ulterior motives toward any of them, and that all he wants is to find Apollo. The girls exchange confused looks and ask what an Apollo even is, which shocks Arisu deeply because he is completely convinced that Apollo must be one of them. Then, it suddenly occurs to Arisu that Apollo may be deliberately hiding her identity, causing him to regret mentioning her so directly, and decide that he will have better opportunities to investigate later without drawing suspicion. He turns to leave, but the girls coldly stop him and tell him never to show his face in the broadcasting club again, because outsiders are not allowed, which triggers a memory of Apollo telling him that she wants to pursue a career using her voice. Acting quickly, Arisu proposes a deal, offering to provide them with new, high-end equipment that will drastically improve their sound quality if they allow him to remain in the club. Finding the offer impossible to refuse, the girls agree. And to show their gratitude, they collectively lean in and whisper, "I love you," into his ear. Those words send Arisu spiraling as they remind him of the moment when he once confessed his feelings to Apollo, and the memory overwhelms him enough that he panics and rushes out of the room. Soon as he regains his composure, he reminds himself that he is no longer a naive child, and resolves to find Apollo not out of romance, but to ensure that she can never use their past connection to blackmail him once he inherits the Yamabuki group. The following day, Arisu decides to carefully observe the broadcasting club members and gather detailed notes on each of them. And when he enters the club room early in the morning, he finds only Shinobu, who explains that she arrives ahead of everyone else to practice because she tends to make mistakes during broadcasts. As Arisu attempts to speak, she silences him and immediately prepares for the morning announcement, prompting him to watch closely while reviewing the information he has gathered on her. Shinobu is a flawless student on paper, serving as vice president of the student council and admired by nearly everyone at school. And just hearing her calm, refined voice causes Arisu to briefly believe that she might truly be perfect, until she suddenly becomes tongue-tied on air and stumbles over her words. The mistake frustrates Arisu so much that he scolds her without realizing the microphone is still live, unintentionally broadcasting his criticism to the entire school. Later, outside the club room, Arisu notices Nene surrounded by classmates who eagerly ask her about the latest volume of a manga titled Lily, and when she excitedly confirms that she owns it, Arisu remembers that Apollo also loves the same series. Observing Nene more closely, he notes that she enjoys cosplay and is popular with everyone. And as she begins voice acting a scene from the manga, he finds himself captivated until she completely botches her lines, making him briefly wonder if something is wrong with her ability. When Nene notices Arisu staring, she loudly tells her friends that he is creeping her out, forcing him to barely escape the resulting angry crowd. At that point, Arisu finally realizes the core issue behind his failure to identify Apollo, understanding that he has only ever heard her voice through a phone, which naturally distorts how it truly sounds. That distortion explains why matching her real voice has been so difficult. Suddenly, Iko sneaks up behind him and startles him so badly that he falls down the stairs, and while shaken, he recalls the information he has collected about her, noting that she serves as the club's technical support and boasts a massive following within the otaku community. When Arisu asks why she is there, Iko casually explains that it is time for her daily stream, quickly setting up her tablet and running a brief 5-second broadcast, which irritates him deeply. Arisu criticizes her lack of dedication and seriousness, but Iko casually counters that her fans do not care about such things. And unwilling to waste energy arguing, Arisu leaves while concluding that everyone in the broadcasting club lacks true commitment, unlike Apollo, who is genuinely determined to pursue a career through her voice. Because of that determination, Arisu once promised himself that he will someday learn proper voice support techniques so that he can help her achieve her dream. Later that day, Shinobu goes live again and performs poorly as usual, and without thinking, Arisu hijacks the microphone and announces that he has had enough of the broadcasting club's mediocrity, declaring that he intends to force everyone to improve. Before he can say anything further, the girls physically throw him out of the club room. Moments later, Arisu receives a notification that leaves him breathless. For the first time in years, Apollo goes live. She admits she cannot reveal her identity, but confesses that she loves him alone, and her voice is clearly coming from the broadcasting room.
And that is it for today. If you enjoyed this recap, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and feel free to write whatever you want in the comments section. Thank you for watching.